Okay, good to see everybody. We'll get Donovan Peoples-Jones back out there today. Denzel Ward, Andy Janovich also will be back out at practice. Odell will not be out there. He's been excused. Andrew Berry and his representatives are continuing to talk. So for today, Odell will not be out there. Looking forward to this challenge, playing a really good Cincinnati Bengals team. I think they're well coached. I think they're doing a nice job on offense, defense, special teams. They have a bunch of really good players. They added good players to their mix, so we understand the challenge that this week presents. With that, I will take any questions.
Kevin, did Odell arrive and be sent home, or was he told not to show up?
Yeah, that we decided that, I think, this morning. He was not here.
Kevin, when you say Andrew and Odell's representatives are continuing to talk, I guess what does that mean? What are they discussing?
Yeah, I think they're discussing a lot of things. And the truth is, guys, I don't have a ton of details for you. I'm happy to answer as much as I can, but I think some things we'll know more as we go.
What kind of
is he asked to be released?
Yeah, again, that's something that I think his reps and Andrew would talk through.
What kind of distraction is this for you, Kevin, with those videos and all this talk?
Yeah, I think, Jeff, we work really hard in this building to concern ourselves with things that are going on in this building and concern ourselves with the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's really where we get laser focused on the task at hand.
Are you preparing to play Sunday without Odell at this point?
I'm really just worried about today, Jake. He's excused today.
Is it like the situation is not fixable?
Yeah, I would just tell you I'm going to work with today. He's not here today. Again, like I mentioned, they're having some discussions, so we'll see where it goes.
What was your reaction to the video posted in his father's name?
Yeah, no reaction, Tony. I would just tell you social media in general is I'm not on it. I'm aware of things that are on there, but I just think in general we talk about ignoring the noise in our building, and certainly there's a lot of things on social media that we need to ignore.
Have you talked to Baker about it?
I've talked to a lot of our players about a lot of things.
How do you ignore something like that, though, when a relative of a player is trashing another player kind of in real time?
Yeah, again, Jake, I just tell you, there's things that we focus on, and that's not one of them.
Does Odell need to apologize?
Yeah, that's something that I kind of probably can't answer.
How is the locker room? I mean, everyone seems to be saying the right things, I should say, publicly, but that doesn't always mean that that's what's really going on behind the scenes. Is there legit friction within the locker room right now?
I think there's a legit feeling that we need to get a win this week. We have a big game against the Cincinnati Bengals, a really good team, another division opponent. I think the guys are laser focused.
Seriously, Kevin, you're not worried about some guys taking Baker's side, some guys taking Odell's side. Is that something you need to nip in the bud if you are concerned about it?
Yeah, what I would tell you, Nate, is we talk a lot about things in the team meetings with the players, individually. There's conversations, but our team is focused on the task at hand.
You overcame a lot of challenges last year that were COVID related. This is totally different. Is this a greater challenge for the head coach of the team?
Tony, I see the challenge in trying to get a win. I mean, we're 4-4. We have to get a win. Our lives depend on it. Is the way we look at it. We're desperate, and that's where our focus is.
He came into the season talking about how he was all in, didn't care about stats. He just wanted to win football games, and whatever role he was asked to do, he was willing to do. From your perspective, when did this go south? I mean, for something like this to happen, it didn't happen overnight. So when did this start to sour?
Darryl, I can't really get into the specifics. I would just tell you right now Andrew and his representatives are working through all those things.
You've talked before about how you handle players and you're very transparent with them. Mm-hmm. You have a good track record of getting guys to buy in. Can you repair this? Can this be repaired?
Jason, for me, it's probably best if I just stay on Wednesday and know that he's excused today, and we'll deal with everything else as it comes.
Can he be back with this team, I guess, without Baker's okay?
Yeah, again, I would tell you that there's a lot of conversations that are ongoing between Andrew and his reps, and I'm sure there's substantive talk towards all those things.
Why was the decision made to excuse him today?
Just felt that was the right thing to do.
Are you disappointed, Kevin?
No, I'm excited for the opportunity this week.
Hey, Kevin, when Baker re-injured his shoulder, the question was, can he play with it? Medical decided he could. But after seeing him for 2 games, can he win with it? Can you operate your offense, which requires a lot of outside the pocket stuff? Can you win with him solely in the pocket?
Yeah, I would tell you, I've seen Baker win football games making a ton of plays from the pocket. Some of those plays on the perimeter that you mentioned, Tony, I think have really been the defense designing to take some of those away. We have opportunities that we can make big plays from the pocket. We have this season. I think we will continue to.
Kevin, one of the accusations made yesterday was that Baker is deliberately not throwing Odell the ball. You called the play, so is that something that you have seen at any point?
No, and Jake, I'm not going to go down that road. I'll just tell you that we work really hard to get guys open, get them the ball, share the ball. Those are always things that we're thinking about.
Kevin, do you
Baker.
see things in the film and in the game plan that you think this passing game can be immediately fixed?
I think there's opportunities. And listen, I've told you guys, and I believe this, and I can think back to multiple times in that game where we called some bad plays, designed some bad plays, just didn't get guys open. And that's going to happen, and we'll work really hard to make sure that we're putting guys in position. You're not going to hit every throw. Quarterbacks across the league, you watch it, it's hard. And sometimes you're going to miss a throw, sometimes you're going to have a drop. And we're realistic about that. Having said that, Zach, I tell you that I know what this group is capable of. I've seen it. We just have to do it more consistently.
Last year you had the opportunity midstream to kind of reset things. You don't have that opportunity this year because just the way the schedule lays out. So how do you adjust on the fly here week to week while you're trying to prepare for a new opponent every week, but also at the same time you're trying to improve what you do?
Yeah, Darryl, I think that's the NFL. I really think that's a week-to-week proposition. I don't think you need the bye week to implement a bunch of changes. That's what we as coaches need to do week to week.
Kevin, with how this has all played out kind of uncharted waters, I'm curious how leadership and accountability and communication could have been different to prevent things like this becoming a distraction on the outside.
Yeah, I think we work really hard as a team to make sure that we're accountable to each other, have a ton of conversations with different players on the team. But this is what part of being a team is. There's going to be times that you're going to have to work through some resilient moments.
If this isn't resolved with Odell playing, how do you think it's going to affect his best friend on this team, Jarvis Landry? Will he just go on about his business?
Yeah, I think Jarvis is a pro. Not worried about Jarvis.
Kevin, did you address this with the team as a whole this morning, and if yes, how so?
Yeah, Ashley, I'd tell you, certainly I address a lot of things with the team, but I would keep those things internal.
There
Do you
was a-
need to resolve this like today so we can move on to the game? I mean, just for the players, point of view.
Yeah, Marla, I think, talking about Jarvis as a pro, I think I got a bunch of pros in there. I think they know how important Wednesday is in terms of our work week, and I think they understand that we got to get out here and have a really good practice.
There were a couple of reports yesterday that the Browns talked to the Saints about a trade for Beckham, but you opposed trading him. Could you comment on that?
Yeah, I don't know about those reports, but no comment.
Is Baker seeing the field like he needs to see it, Kevin?
Yeah, I think we've had some, as an offense, I think we've had good moments. We just haven't done it consistently.
Do you feel the need to redesign some of those pass routes you're talking about? Has there been a situation where you've had maybe guys bunched up where you need some more separation?
Yeah, I think, Tom, we're looking at it from every angle and really looking at it long and hard and saying, all right, number one, you got to score points and you got to be explosive in the run and the pass. And if we're not doing that, why and how do we fix that?
Kevin, you mentioned that Andrew was talking to Odell's representation. Have you talked to Odell in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, I have not.
You have a leadership council. Do you encourage that group to kind of lead a meeting among the players and clear the air if it hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I've spoken to a bunch of our players, Nate, and I'd tell you, leadership shows up in a bunch of different ways, and you don't need to be a captain, you don't need to be on a leadership council to lead. So I trust that we have the right people in the locker room.
Do you think Baker's in the right frame of mind for such a big game coming up as a result of this?
Yes, I do.
I mean, you go against a team like the Steelers where it's probably going to be low scoring and everything's kind of close to the vest. Is it a big adjustment when you go down now and you're facing a Cincinnati team that's scoring 30 a game?
Yeah, I think you gotta call and you gotta play the game that's called for. So I think we'll see how it shakes out. Scott, I mean, offensively, our mindset is always to score a bunch of points any which way we can. Defensively, it's a tall task to slow this offense down. I mean, they have a bunch of really good players. Again, they've been in this scheme. I think the quarterback's playing at a high level. So we understand the challenge here. And when you add Chase to this group, I mean, he's a dynamic player. So we have to make sure that we're locked in from a preparation standpoint.
Kevin, it's kind of knowing how you try to connect with your guys. It's kind of surprising to hear you haven't talked to Odell in the last 24 hours. Did you try? Just he wasn't receiving your calls. What happened?
Yeah, I'd tell you that's. I'll keep that between me and him.
Kevin, there's a report that just came out a couple minutes ago that you told the team this morning that Odell is not part of the team anymore. Is that true? Do you consider him part of the team?
Yeah, I would just tell you again, today he's excused, and we'll see where this goes.